Blog Talk Radio.
Live under the Man Radio here. Your host Tech with co-host
and I see Game Boy. What it is, what it do,
and with correspondent
the sensational one, Shinblade. As always, how's everybody doing?
Hey.
Doing well. Everybody's fans. This is under the Man Radio. Episode is entitled Hulkamania or Cenation debate because coming up this whole show. Of course, we're going to talk about more as usual, but the main meat of the show, if you will be a debate that our good old correspondent, Shinblade, and our upcoming guest of the whole show, co-host of the great show, Pro Wrestling Report, David Herro, will be joining us. And we'll be having a debate, and you fans can be a part of it. Who meant more, or even did more, or does more for the business? Is it Hulk Hogan, back during the Hulkamania time period to now, or is it Captain 4K himself, John Cena? Of course, you can call in with that debate. Call in at any point at 347-677-1862. Please press 1. Want to say out to you, yes, originally we were supposed to have 80stees.com. Kevin Stecco was supposed to be calling in today, but he do apologize. Family matters. He will call in next week. So we do send his apologies. So with all that being said, you can follow the show on Twitter at @TAC_UTMR. You can follow NSC Game Boy on Twitter at
NSC Game Boy spelled correctly. Please spell it correctly.
Yeah, please do. And you can follow Shinblade on Twitter at
Sensational one.
Oh, I'm still waiting for you to spell it, but
No, I'm not going to spell it because people know the sensational one, and there's only one Shinblade on Twitter, and that's just me, the official.
So you got the blue check? You got the blue check yet?
No, but people know it's just me.
Don't worry, one day we'll get the blue checks. One day. Also, fans, don't forget, follow us on Facebook. Our like page, which big ups to Shinblade for that, who's in charge of that. Our like page and group page is entitled the same name as our show, Under the Match Radio. Please, as NSC Game Boy says, thank you for the thumbs. Please click on that blue thumb. Yeah, thumbs.
All thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Also, of course, check us out on YouTube under the Mass Radio. You'll get to see our great road trip videos, us being on the road. Of course, you'll get to listen to our archive episodes and get to see us doing interviews, of course. I know you get to hear our voices every week, but you'll be able to get to see the faces to match the voice of interviews that we've done with the likes of Val Venus, WWE Hall of Famers Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, WWE Hall of Famer Ron Simmons, and others that we've interviewed. So
wait. Hold on. We forgot our good buddy Snitsky.
Oh yeah. Big up.
He don't drop kick us. Yeah.
Yeah, he will. Well, he gave you like a little chest slap last time, Shin. So better watch out.
Well, I know how hard he can hit, so.
Go work correspondent. Lovely.
For what? For what?
Taking the chop.
Yeah, taking the chop.
Taking the hit.
Okay.
Gotta pay your dues either way,
well,
right?
Well, you never met Snitsky, and he slaps everybody on the back. You never felt that?
No, he's never slapped me in the back.
Slap me.
But see, this show
Okay, well, he did Mario.
Correspondent work you did. Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he did Mario,
shout out.
so Mario went across the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to our good old buddy, King Degree, for paying his dues.
MD Nice.
MD Nice also for that. So, of course, fans, please do. To the 8 o'clock hour, this show definitely is for you. Call in, let us know about Fastlane, which we'll go over. If you want to talk about Monday Night Raw, go ahead. If you want to talk about Lucha Underground, somebody's yawning.
Yeah, exactly. NFC.
Real quick, of course, we always give out breaking news, random news. Real quick, shout out to Comcast. Xfinity. Please update. Big ups. Anybody that has a direct TV dish, some kind of on-demand feature. Because when you look at movies, they have covers. It gets to show you who's on that particular movie or event. Well, Comcast isn't really up to date because on Impact show, when it says TNA Impact Wrestling, it has the picture of Hulk Hogan, Sting, and Kurt Angle. Yes,
wow.
I've actually got. If anybody has Xfinity or Comcast, whatever you want to call it, go on demand or go to Impact. Anybody listening now, do it at some point. And even Saltine Eric, he'll even validate this. And even big up to Jason.
You like my chili?
Yeah. if you go to Impact Wrestling, the current picture, the cover photo for Impact Wrestling, year 2015, is a picture of Hogan, Sting, and Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle?
Wow. Way to go. Yeah, Kurt Angle, Sting, and Hogan.
Angle's still there. Yeah. He's still there.
What about Hogan and Sting?
So they got one right.
Yeah, they got one.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hogan and Sting's in WWE.
They're a quarter right.
Yeah, quarter right. It's better than nothing. But 99 and a half won't do.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, before we go on to Fastlane, of course we gotta start usual NFC Game Boy. Any words or any word, the one word that you have for Fastlane.
Oh yeah, I got a word. There we go. That's a word for you.
Is that more like is that really a word?
Look that up for you. Look that up in the dictionary.
That's the ghetto dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. UrbanDictionary.com.
Whatever language you think that is.
That's universal, bro.
We cannot go. We cannot go without thanking our good old buddies in media. I want to give a shout out to, of course, thank everybody for your love, for your messages and texts, for the great interview that we had with Coco Beware, the original Birdman, of course, and all the other interviews that we've done. So I just want to give a big shout out to a good old buddy, Steve Wan, who's in charge of AngryMouse.com. Big shout out to our good old buddy, Bill After, of course, who is in charge of OneWrestling.com. For good friend of ours. Yeah, so big ups to. Yep, After Chat. Check him out on YouTube, OneWrestling.com. Check out Bill After. He was a fan of our show, good buddy of ours who enjoyed the Coco Beware. Andy Carduzo. Everybody says there's so many people. Raj from WrestlingInc.com. Of course, how can we not forget our good old buddy Jay? Yep, Jay Aletto from Pro Wrestling Powerhouse. Toph. So everybody that likes that, enjoys the show, that loves our interviews, and the tons of fans that we do have internationally and nationally and locally. Thank you much for your love and appreciation. And thanks to Coco Beware who... Oh, go ahead.
Also, call in various luminaries and media for the later debate or what you think about Coco Beware interview. We like to get your feedback.
Yes. Feedback. Definitely. Sounds like another WWE pay-per-view, doesn't it?
You know what? Don't even go there.
WWE feedback.
Yeah, because Fastlane sounds like a bastardization of the Fast and Furious series, the way they were going like the races and stuff.
Yeah, we will definitely get to that. Well, while we're at Fastlane, NFC Game Boys word was
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to mess that up, you know. You can't listen to another show.
Oh my goodness.
So, go ahead, Shane. Start out with the pre-show of WWE Fastlane, which was free if you was a new customer.
Well, you know, I kind of pulled out to see if I got free, but I did.
Oh.
So it was more than that. Yeah. Oh, don't go there. Actually, to me, I didn't watch the pre-show. It was The Miz and Paul Heyman for the pre-show. I don't think they had a match.
Okay.
What did you guys think about it if you saw it?
I didn't get a chance to see the pre-show, but NFC Game Boy, did you see the pre-show?
No, I heard about it. It was just
all right.
Paul setting stuff up for the WrestleMania match, and whoever the victor was pretty much is going to get obliterated. So, you know, that's pretty much from what I've read. But no, I missed the pre-show actually. You can think.
I guess it wasn't that memorable.
Okay, well, I got some words after this from what I'm reading from a site after we do all the matches.
Okay.
All right, well, starting the show, match number 1 was The Authority, which was Seth Rollins, Big Show, and Kane with midget security guards. They beat Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback. Your thoughts?
NFC Game Boy?
I really can't stand these type of matches with these type of guys in it because I want to see Dolph Ziggler away from Ryback and Big Show. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see him away from, not Big Show. What's his name?
Kane?
Eric Rowan?
Yeah, there you go. Eric Rowan. I want to see him. I said Big Show. I botched. I want to see him away from him. Why? Because he is the premier person, and he needs to have that pedestal raised. He needs to have that level raised. I think that Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania will be an awesome match, even though now it's going to be Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. Anyway, I think that match should be the one that happens because both of them want to take it to the extreme. One got something to prove, the other one got something to gain, and I think that they probably single-handedly can save WrestleMania. But that's another story for right now. As far as that match, it was all right, but I wasn't that into it.
Did it make your soul burn, NFC?
Yes, it did, and it's still burning as we speak.
What?
In
Actually,
a good way or like that bad way?
It's that bad way. It's like that tingling you get in your feet. You know what I mean? I think it's called. I think it's like a fungus or something. It's just, you know what I mean? You want it to go away, but it just keeps coming. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, I wanted to ask NFC Game Boy, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Was this worth more throwing your drink at the screen than X-Men 3?
Full credit to
that's a good question, Shin. Put me on a hot seat.
Skyline.
I'm sorry,
Let's
bro.
not forget that. Skyline.
Oh, goodness.
I'll put it like this, folks. Fans out there, I'll put it like this. I see why the WWE gave it for free. Because if they actually paid for it with real money, you would want to throw your drinks at the WWE wrestlers and superstars or referees and stuff when you see them. Maybe you want to block their cars when they come to events and stuff. That might be the new thing now. They're just going to start blocking people's cars.
Yeah.
It's just,
it
should be called Really Vince.
Better.
That's what it should have called. The pay-per-view should be called Really Vince. Everything's just Really Vince. Not even Fastlane. Just call it Really Vince.
Hey, it's a little funny. Anybody, you remember playing the Day of Reckoning games in a GameCube? Remember that? Remember the little mini game in the backyard and little backlot brawl? So you did like a little mini game for the new WWE game next year, 2K16. We had like angry fans blocking into the parking lot. You got like little get around from angry fans so you can get
That's the bonus stage.
Say bonus stage.
Wait a minute, was that Day of Reckoning or WrestleMania 19 where you had to fight guards to get into the stadium?
Yeah, 19. I was like, 19. In fact, them guards are the same black. Basically, they wore the shirt the Rock wore Fast Furious, the little small black shirt.
What the hell is that?
Black tights. I don't know.
No, I saw the gameplay for that game, and I'm like, this is a wrestling game. They get kicked out the arena. They got to fight security guards to get back in the arena and steal the show. You know what? That's Dolph Ziggler's match right there for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that match, I got to watch the replay of Fastlane with King Degree and good old protege BJ. Shout out to them. The first match wasn't actually all that bad. Excuse me. It was okay. It had its good parts. The match did. Look, the pay-per-view didn't start off with a 20-minute promo or monologue. It went straight to the action.
Correct.
And on the strength of Seth Rollins, or Seth Reigns, you want to call him, on the strength of Ziggler, and even give Ryback, even though he shouldn't never do it, that's precedent for ever in his life again. That match actually wasn't all that bad. So it wasn't the greatest, but let's look at who we're working with. We're working with, as Jason Hubble calls him, No Show, Big Show. Working with Kane in his communion slacks. We have Seth Rollins, Eric Rowan, Ryback. Hey. And with who we have the match, and actually the ending was pretty cool. It was different. Big Show actually jumped off the ground since he was medium show in WCW. Did a little jumping KO punch, and Kane did the choke slam. That actually was a good ending. I actually enjoyed that. So that's the technicalities of the match.
I gotta call BS on that one because it was a good ending to the match, but I hate the term KO punch. I used to like it when it was WMD, like the weapon of mass destruction. I mean, I guess it was just more creative.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Okay.
So as we used to call in the street,
we had a surprise.
We say you got stole. Remember that, GB?
You got stole. Yeah.
Got stole.
He got stole.
Yeah, just call it stole. That's the name of it now. It's got stole.
Ghetto moment here.
Yeah. Speaking of Ghetto Tony appearance today, so shout out to him.
Yeah, fans have been asking about him too. You know,
Ghetto Tony will be making his appearance soon. We don't have any vignettes
where's
like
Ghetto Tony?
He's doing the Sheamus. Well, doing business, taking care of things. Oh yeah,
I know he is, but they say where's Ghetto Tony? They throw it to Deuces from watching the videos.
Oh yeah.
So,
you need the Thug Life meme come up there with the little music. And Ghetto Tony. It's Thug Life.
The little Gucci.
Like where's Ghetto Tony? Thug Life. Like
All right. Let's see. We also after this match, there was a quote unquote surprise return of the Viper Randy Orton.
Surprise that was.
And that's why I said quote unquote because everybody knows he was doing house shows. It's just a matter of letting him out. So.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, the hilarious thing about Randy Orton with his RKOs is that he doesn't have to jump to RKO J&J security.
That's true. He just falls.
He just got to fall down and cook them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we talked about that one. All right. Now, this was a match that I was looking forward to. Huh?
Yeah, the crowd really didn't care to me. Orton came back, and then it just was an okay reaction.
Okay, you know what? The crowd thing I'm going to talk about afterwards because that's from the whole thing because I have a rant about that. But the next match I was looking forward to, but to me it was quite odd, was Goldust and Stardust.
Yeah, that was a little weird. NXT game boy, any words for that?
Okay, this is my complaint with this. I like the fact of where the story's trying to go, but I think they making it too serious, and it's starting to take away the flair of Stardust's character. You know what I mean? I think they try to make it too. They try to make it like is a daddy thing instead of younger brother trying to outdo older brother. Now it's like I want to prove this to you, daddy, and all that. And I think I know they're trying to make it more compelling, but they should have just kept it with that. You know, that's just my argument. But the match was actually pretty alright. They actually gave a decent match, but I just think they're trying to make the storyline more compelling by adding, Dusty in there, and I don't think he's needed really. You know what I mean? They always use Dusty, and that's the reason why it usually don't work that well because Dusty don't have to choose and all that. I think they should just kept it where I want to beat you and you're trying to beat me. I think they should left Dusty out of it. That's just my opinion.
Right, and to say the truth, the way it feels like for the storyline is like the team is not gelling well. So with partnerships, they always have a part where they're falling out or fighting each other, and it's like, you know what, this ain't working. I'm gonna tell Daddy on you, and that's the way I feel. But anybody who got siblings, it's like you know what, this. I'm telling Daddy, I'm calling Daddy, and Dustin Rhodes come in. Yeah, old kid, old school. It was just awkward, including the crowd not being into it, and then shout out to Cody. Well, excuse me, shout out to Stardust wearing Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, don't call them that. Yeah. Sure, Virgo Farms. I thought it was.
Because he had the Ravens with no shirt, so.
Yeah, pause. First of all, I just thought his outfit was a little bit weird, but like I said, it's Stardust. It does look different from Goldust, and like NXT Game Boy mentioned, they're pushing the fact of Dusty being their dad. Now, to be funny, a lot of the 4 kids don't even know who Dusty Rhodes is. They barely can relate to who Goldust is. So, like you said, it's they're forcing the hand too much. Oh, it's Dusty's dad. Like you said, I'm gonna tell Daddy, and like I said, I'm not feeling it. But the brother match itself was okay. First of all, let's talk about that botch. That botch ending with the referee.
Oh man!
Because the referee did not count the 3. But the bell.
It was 1, 2, and ring the bell.
Yeah, exactly. So. But I won't say any more about this match because I'll say that till once we do the wrap up of Fastlane.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next match. Let's see. What was the next match? I'm looking it up here. I'm sorry. So many people are texting me about the Hogan versus Cena thing, so I'm trying to look.
Well, I believe after that, wasn't it when the Sting Triple H confrontation?
Yes, it was, and I have a big beef with that.
Yeah, I've heard.
Triple H. No, actually, okay, I'm looking at the matches down here as far as the notes, so I don't know where Triple H came in with the thing, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's Triple H and Sting comes out. Well, Triple H comes out with his jacket he hasn't worn since WrestleMania 17. And new shirt and
retro Triple H DLC.
Yeah, retro Triple H DLC pack.
Yeah.
It looks weird. I used to like when he used to spit the water out, like the water used to just come off his hair. He has no hair anymore, so this looks weird. He used to spit the water, and the water used to fly off his hair. Looks weird.
And also,
now.
he did it with the King music, the Bow Down to the King music. He used to do it to the Triple H music.
Yeah, the toasted itch on
too.
the shoulder bun. By the way, random note, call in please if you can understand a single word to the lyrics of any Motorhead song. You can't. Ace of Spades.
What else?
Yeah.
That's Lemmy. That's how he sounds in real life.
Yeah, he even talks like that.
Yeah, he sounds like that in real life. After interviews.
He talks in a rhythm.
Time to play
he even
the
talks
game.
like he's singing. Yeah,
I wonder if Triple H even know the words to this song.
I don't think he does.
Well, he did. He did
Watch
jam
his
with.
performances.
Well, he did jam
WrestleMania
with him
17.
WrestleMania 21.
Yeah, 17 and 21.
No, he jammed with him at WrestleMania 21 when he had Batista when they were going over the entrance.
But he didn't know the words. He was bopping.
No, I mean Okay, you saw that backstage thing they did?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
no.
Well, I
and,
know.
and the only lyrics that we know of from WrestleMania 17 was these exact words by Lemmy: "Toasted itch on a shoulder bun."
What?
Yeah, watch WrestleMania 17 when Triple H comes out to face Undertaker. Oh yeah, that's right. That match did happen before. Yeah, one of the verses.
Yeah, WWE says it didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen, but we know it did. One of the lyrics
it was
to
a good match.
One of the lyrics to the song was "Toasted itch on a shoulder bun."
Toasted itch on the shoulder bun. Oh, what?
Which I actually know the actual term that he was trying to say, but let me know probably was doped up or what have you. Because the actual lyrics was toast. The actual lyrics was supposed to be "toasted bitch with a smoking gun," but he said "toasted itch on a shoulder bun."
That's not.
Yeah. Oh, it was there.
Okay.
It was there.
You know how
in HD.
Okay, fans. You know how a pay-per-view is very shitty when Tech keeps pointing out minor points about songs and lyrics and everything like that. So
that has nothing to do with the current pay-per-view.
Get through it.
But
no, it just says how shitty the pay-per-view is.
Yeah. And anytime NXT Game Boy has yet to say an actual word, he's to make gestures and.
I really don't have nothing really too good to say about this pay-per-view. It is.
Wasn't that the same noise when you used to hit King Hippo and punch out? Oh, wasn't that like the same? See, this lets you know, fans, how great of a pay-per-view Fastlane was.
Oh, okay. Well, Triple H came out to the ring and called Sting out, and Tag, you can do an imitation of Triple H doing promos also.
Triple H always walks he always walks forward to the camera, then walks around to the left. There's a circle. Yeah.
He does a circle.
He doesn't say Sting. It's Stang. STANG.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody had to sign up on Raw.
He got a little country coming
Sting.
from New Hampshire.
Stang. And the matter Triple H
like a hood
the
girl
more
would say something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Sting came out to his Baltimore Raven music, And to be honest with you, Tech, to go also on a random note, I don't like Sting's music. I like his old WCW music, the one when he first came out in Starrcade in '97.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Game Boy said a word.
I love that thing.
It's the Game Boy said a word.
The dun dun.
Yeah.
The dun 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 dun. It was like you strike fear in your opponent when you come out. Like you scared to face Sting.
Well, random note, who was the little kid that was talking at the Starrcade event? Remember that? From A Man's Heart. Who was
the
that
little
kid?
Girl?
Who was the little girl?
Your doom is near, Sting. And they had a little hologram in the background with the thing in the sky.
And it didn't work because you saw like half of the scorpion.
Can we get back to 2015? Can we get back to 2015?
Oh yeah, that's right. Back to Fastlane.
All right.
Shin, you hate
Sting's
music.
Well, okay. Sting came out with the boring music, and honestly, I'm gonna say it. Wow. Honestly, to tell you the truth,
better than the original.
This pissed me off because Memphis did not pop. They were just stills. It was nothing.
Yes, they did not. They did not scream or anything.
Yeah, I heard some reaction, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Like they went to the bathroom.
And actually, shout out to Evan Ginsberg. He posted on Facebook 13,000. It sounded like 13. Which was very funny to me. It was very funny.
That was true.
It was very fucking funny. So he came out. Triple H did his you can go ahead. Triple H did his little rant coming out to Sting. Sting and all this stuff. So attacked Sting. I think he hit Sting, and Sting is on the ground. And then
Hit him
Sting
with the
does his
mic.
little chop combination that he does his chop combination that he always does. If people don't know Sting, nobody knows Sting. He does his little chops.
Well, okay, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, he did that, and then he put the bat in Triple H's throat, and he pointed to the WrestleMania sign.
Well,
that's where the 13
all,
people sounded like 100.
First of all, you're forgetting something. First of all, where in the world did that bat come from? That bat clearly downloaded. Where did the bat come from?
I gotta watch that again.
NXT Game Boy, you saw it.
Yeah, I think it came out of his jacket. He had
coat.
it inside the jacket, his coat.
Like the Terminator. He probably had like a little boat.
Yeah, like he used, instead of a shotgun, he has a bat.
Little bat.
And by the way, when does a bat become more dangerous than a sledgehammer?
In the WWE universe.
You're right. Metal versus.
I'd rather get hit with a bat than a sledgehammer. Like I didn't see that lady from Misery breaking that guy's ankles and stuff with a bat. She used a sledgehammer.
No.
Well, true. But that's true either way. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't take either one, but a bat is just all. And by the way, that was an actual bat that Sting used. It wasn't a plastic one. It wasn't a wiffle ball.
That was an actual wiffle ball bat.
He used plastic bats back in WCW, depending on what you used to do. Who said it?
All right. Okay. All right. Now.
We're still figuring out where the bat came from.
No, I'm not dismissing you. It's just the fact that I thought about it. Sting came up. He didn't wield a bat. Triple H hit him. He was on the ground, and he pulled the bat, or somebody typed bat into his hand, and it came out like VR Troopers or something.
Yeah.
Okay, this ended. Sting put the bat to Triple H's neck, throat area, and pointed to WrestleMania sign, and the 13 people sounded like 100 and left the ring, and, Michael Cole's creaming his pants saying this is going to be a huge matchup.
Forgot the dust.
Anyway, yeah, that too. I was drinking, so I turned my head when that happened. And also, here's one for you, Tech, NXT Game Boy. What is up with Triple H selling where he lays in a T motion after the death drop? His forearms are still in the air.
Illuminati.
I saw that one.
Still Illuminati. Still Illuminati, so.
Thug life.
All right.
Yeah, Thug life. That's what happens when you're real muscular to that point where you can't put your arms all the way down, like Scott Steiner or Batista or Lex Luger. Well, Lex Luger never put his legs on when he fell. Yeah, Drax or Brass Body. Okay,
that was from Man with Iron Fist.
But he never can put his whole arms down. That is that muscular.
Neither did Bobby Lashley.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Chris Benoit also.
Well, Benoit was a small dude.
But he had big arms.
All right. Well, that was the WWE when he was roided up, but in WCW, he wasn't all that big.
Okay.
All right. Next match, which was I think this match I did like, mainly because of the ending, because I'm a big fan of the team that actually won. But
real quick, NXT Game Boy, real quick. Sorry, what was your thought? Did you enjoy the segment real quick with Triple H and Sting?
It was okay. We can continue.
Okay. You just want that music back, brother.
The next. Yeah, me too. The next match is the Masters of the Universe, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro with Natalya. They beat the Usos with Naomi for the tag team championship. Fact.
Yes.
I love this match.
The best part of the night.
It was to me. It was the best match of the night, and I was so over when Tyson Kidd and Cesaro won the belts, and that was it for me.
Clearly, best match of the night.
To me, this team should have been called the Underrated. since they both were underrated by Wrestling Observer Newsletter 2 years, one for Tyson Kidd and the other one for Cesaro. And also shout out to Evan Ginsberg, 'cause I know he was glad when they won. Your thoughts?
Game Boy.
My problem is with champions is that when you're a champion, that means you're on the top of the mountain looking over and you got your challengers. When you're a good champion, every time you get in the ring, it's going to be a great match because you are the one that's carrying the match. Rather you win or lose, a lot of people want to say that you were the one that stood out because you were the champion. If you fall, you fell to a better person because they had to come to your level. Well, with the Usos, last year they won the tag team championship. They really haven't done much as champions. They kind of got shuffled in with the rest of the mid-tier card and the roster and everything. Besides their feud with Stardust and Goldust and their little bit of feud with the New Age Outlaws and everything, which leaded, they really haven't done anything. And I think at Fastlane, it kind of dawned on me like they really ain't that great of wrestlers. Like, I hate to say it like that, and I mean, I'm not taking nothing from them, but they not only got beaten by a better team, they got beaten by better wrestlers. You feel me? And I don't know if they trying to break them up or they trying to, maybe take them down a notch and, have somebody else in the limelight. But clearly the match of the night, the guys who won, they deserve the championships. They out-wrestled the Usos in every step of the way. Great match, great energy. Kind of sad that it had to be so far in the beginning of the show because much better than the rest of the stuff that was on there. But my thoughts was they weren't champions. They were guys holding the belts. And now we got new champions. Yeah, I hate to say that, but it's the truth. So
now I think about it, you talk about the Usos. Are you saying the Usos better last year as champions, or you said the Usos was better last year when they held the belts?
No, what I'm saying is when they was going for the belt. They were looking like contenders and stuff. But after they won the belt, can you really think of a great match as the Usos when they were champion, when they really blew you away, like the match at Fastlane?
I got you. No, go ahead, Todd.
I agree with Energy Game. But normally with Usos, they're very athletic. It's just normally that match is when they have good matches. It's normally more so aided by the people that they're with.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, like I said, and
actually,
I thought the match was. I really enjoyed the match. It was the best match of the night to me, and the fact that they gave the title to. Are they called Masters of the Universe or what's their name?
Huh?
I think they are called Masters of the Universe.
No, I think that's an unofficial name. They just call them Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, but it's like they go around house shows, and they had the Masters of the Universe, and then they were with Adam Rose. I don't know what happened to that, and they were like the Brass Ring Club.
He'll be featured in Endeavor soon. But
what is up with that storyline?
I'm glad. You said Masters of the Universe won. Even I was caught off guard because I just swore, oh gosh, Uso's going to win again. Because the article just came up about how he'd been tag champs for over 202 days or so. But I'm glad he won. I actually popped when they did, they won the match. I was really happy for that. We got to see somebody else. And I'll go on my tag team analysis after Fastlane real quick, too.
All right.
We still got some more of the pay-per-view to talk about.
Yeah, let's hurry this up so we can get to that part. We got, and please excuse me if I'm boring you, the next match was Nikki Bella versus Paige. Movie Bella.
Moving right along.
Okay, well,
it's nothing to discuss.
And before I move along, I love Paige, but next match.
You love Paige?
Was the match that I wanted to see. Yeah, I mean, she got years of training. I mean, she's better than a lot of other divas. I think she's funny.
Like, what kind of funny? Like,
but she's young, though. Well,
What kind
I
of funny?
like
Like how funny?
show. I think she's entertaining. Huh?
Okay.
Just like jokes and stuff. She's a prankster. All right. Moving
Speaking
on.
of which,
This is another
breaking
match
news.
I thought-
Breaking news. Fastlane was a movie was actually a TV series from 2002 to 2003, starring Bill Bellamy.
With Bill Bellamy and Peter Finelli.
Yep. Peter Finelli, Tiffany Thiessen, Big Boy. Just to remind you what other shows
Wow, that was a
media was called Fastlane. Really, I'm not a Bill Bellamy fan, but yeah.
Well,
All right, Fancy Game, but your thoughts?
Well,
your thoughts of this series, Fastlane?
I seen the series when I was locked up. It was real high pace, action, kind of like the same sequence that Empire uses now. It's just the storyline was flat. You know what I mean? It was kind of like Magnum PI, but like on steroids. So, I mean,
and let's not forget, it seems like they're using the same cars that was in this series for that little fast. What car was that? The little Fastlane graphics. Remember that in the beginning? The little.
Oh, okay.
Little car.
Let's get back
the little Hot Wheel.
Okay.
Just to let you know, fans, whenever we go on random rants, let you know how good the pay-per-view is.
Well, that was another shitty Fox show that didn't make out of season 1.
Yeah.
We can name them all.
Yeah, we can
name all the shitty Fox shows that didn't make season 1. Let's see. Next match, I thought it was going to be an entertaining match because I like the build to this. It was just simple. It was Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose, and Bad News Barrett beat Dean Ambrose by disqualification, but Dean Ambrose took the belt with him.
Ooh.
So that was bad news for Bad News Barrett.
It was just like a throwaway match. I'm a fan of both guys. I like Bad News and I like Ambrose. But like you said, the match was okay. I knew it wasn't going to be anything spectacular. I know they was going to save it up for the match that they're going to have at Mania with other participants. We'll get to that later. No match was alright.
Really? I think that's going to be a continuation.
Yeah, that's what he did. It just like a little teaser for Mania.
Okay. All right. Did you get the picture I sent you of the 50 Shades of Wade when they had when they were joking when they tied his hands up to the post? I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Way better than the movie.
NC Game Boy, your thoughts of Ambrose?
I just want to say this. I was kind of disappointed in this match. I would thought that them two connecting is one of those matches that look good on paper, but I think they were just out of sync with each other. Like, it just didn't have the feel that you would think that these two guys have with both of their characters colliding. I really think it's just a match that looked good on paper. It really bored me. I was surprised at both of them. I'm really fans of both guys, but I was really bored of that match. Really disappointed.
More boring than the 6-man?
No, not actually the 6-man. I think the 6-man was actually better than this one. This was possibly one of the worst matches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the 6-man did have a little bit more excitement than this. This match, it really just looked good on paper. You know what I mean, I thought that they would really bring it, and I thought their characters would complement each other, but they really look out of sync. Like they just, sometimes it be like that in the ring. And anybody who knows the business, sometimes you think two guys or two characters will collide, and you think you really gonna get a show, and it's just. I put like Shawn Michaels and RVD. I say it just like that.
That never happened.
Yeah, exactly. Two
Really?
styles you think would complement each other, and that was a horrible match. It was like, I mean, both of them are great in their own right. So, yeah, great guys, but just horrible match. But moving on.
Not good chemistry.
All right, well, the next match, I liked the ending to this match, but I just wasn't into it because I knew where it was going to go. My ending to the match didn't happen, so it was either my ending or the ending that actually happened, and that was Rusev defeating John Cena for the United States Championship, and he beat him by passing out, by John Cena passing out to the accolades.
Or Cena said on Raw the Acolyte.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Oh my God. Botch.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought this match was. I thought for Rusev, as far as positivity, this match was good for him because we never seen a long Rusev match, like a trying Rusev match. I never could think of one because he always beats his opponents in like 8 minutes.
Mhm.
And now this match went on for like 20 minutes, and John Cena. The thing is that if John Cena beat Rusev, that would bury Rusev. If John Cena beat Rusev by disqualification, like Rusev would do something, get himself disqualified, I thought that was my ending. But he put him in an accolade, and John Cena passed out like Sheamus, like Sheamus did. I thought it was a good ending, just like Sheamus when he lost the title, he passed out.
Right.
But honestly, I think.
Real quick to say, we're gonna bring in live right now. A good old buddy Toph. Toph, you there?
Toph.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, babe?
Toph.
I'm just here to. Oh, okay. I was just here to call in and participate in your little Hogan Cena thing. I always like talking about stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll keep you on live. If you want to chime in real quick, we're about to finish our Fastlane, so go ahead.
What about Rocky being killed last night by Drago?
Aw.
You can't win.
I must break you.
If you die, he dies.
So I think Apollo Drago was like the first squash match I ever saw, and I was like 3. So, yeah.
You had the James Brown. In the America tights.
That was a good intro though. That was a very WrestleMania-ish intro when you think about it. I like how the arena was set up. How it was like a ring inside of what was that, like a casino? What was it anyway?
Something like that. It was just American made.
Actually, I think it was like inside a casino, if I'm not mistaken.
It was cool, whatever it is.
It's probably been an exhibition fight, so yeah, it would be somewhere like that.
Wait a minute,
beat the shit out of
Tech. Wait a minute, Tech. You want to talk about Motorhead? You want to talk about Motorhead singing? What about James Brown in the movie? You couldn't understand the lyrics.
Damn. Oh, hey, now, hey. Y'all follow along, homie.
It's a man's world.
Hey.
No. That was. Hey, look. That was that performance.
I understand James Brown, and he only one word he said was please. For like 3 minutes. He kept saying, please, now
man, on a future episode, I would love to give you guys a full rundown of the James Brown funeral. I had the misfortune of being there, and it was
really?
Something.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was something.
Nice. DLC episode. So let us know today. We'll even if if we want to do it this week, we'll do a special episode of James Brown funeral and tied in with other musical
random stuff.
Musicians. Other random stuff and musicians that's graced the wrestling.
Yeah, let's have somebody call in from England about Amy Winehouse's funeral.
Illuminati.
Actually,
the Illuminati, yo. No, the Ascension getting you.
Come on now.
Wasteland.
She
Thug Life
drank herself to death.
Yeah, it is. Don't let Kanye hear you. Kanye may call in and interrupt you.
You know what? Let's not talk about that
y'all?
because I thought he was crashing Saturday Night Live and the Oscars when John Legend Comics won.
Man, I'm worried for Cat Williams, man. I'm worried for Cat Williams. He needs to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's crazy anyway.
He may get
my
featured
fellow
ever.
Virgo.
Yeah, NFC Game Boy, Team Virgo.
Yeah, he's my fellow Virgo.
Hashtag Team Virgo. Hashtag Blue Jones.
There we go.
Hashtag Hate Fish Women.
Wow.
Well, real quick, let me give my synopsis of this John Cena and Rusev match. I just want to say for the record, I think this is one of the most funniest matches that John Cena ever been in, because clearly you know that he could beat Rusev. I think he was trying to put him over, of course, but I think he forgot that he was putting him over, and some of John Cena's the Super Cena was coming out, and he kind of had to tone himself down, especially when he was in the Accolade, and he was blatantly just like, okay, you see how easy I can break this, right? And of course he's trying to tell the story, but the way he was telling the story was he was actually mocking Rusev's character more than helping Rusev's character. But of course the ending helped out, at the end and stuff. But I give him credit because he made it somewhat entertaining, trying to make Rusev look like he's just this superior and he really could not beat him and everything. Because I really think John Cena could have took him, and I don't use that often, but
that's good. Two things in NXT game. Anybody really? This is a random note. This is a random note about John Cena. This is John Cena's first submission loss in 11 years since No Way Out pay-per-view in 2004. Which, in a way, this is not a submission victory. It was just a knockout, kind of a pass-out type thing. Also, the thing that I'm trying to get with this match, the thing I'm trying to get with this match is John Cena got kicked in the balls and put in the Accolade.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Right. That was just hilarious to me.
Right.
So you enjoy seeing Cena
get you usually get kicked in the balls a lot and can be able to continue functioning. Is that what you're saying? Because if I get kicked in the balls, I'm going down.
Yeah, man down.
No, you will go down. You will go down from getting kicked in the balls. But I'm talking about the Accolade. No, you go down when you get kicked in the balls.
Right. Okay, but you're saying that it was funny to you.
Yeah. Well, what was
but he did get kicked in the head also. He got kicked in the balls. He fell to the ground and he kicked him in the head. That's the head.
By the USSR kick.
Okay. This is a great pay-per-view.
For anybody that don't know that reference, please Google USSR, Google Cold War, Google CCCP. You'll get your answers.
Okay.
And Zangi's mother.
All right.
Zangi's mother.
Mother Russia.
She cried.
Yeah, she did.
I was waiting for the spinning power driver.
Lamenting. Lamentations.
Okay. All right. We got one more match, and we can get a reaction to this. The last match, which everybody knows, was Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, which Roman Reigns speared him and won. And I was too much into my computer watching this match because we all was going to know who was going to win. And for the Mark fans out there, I think they were trying to get like a double count out or double disqualification or no contest. So Daniel Bryan can get into the WrestleMania main event, but Roman Reigns won. Your thoughts, Pete?
I'm real quick. So, what's your quick thoughts? So we can go on to random news real quick before we bring in David Herro.
Well, in the main event?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a wrestling enlightenment in the past year. I watched Lucha, watched NXT, Ring of Honor, really getting into New Japan Pro Wrestling. I've already watched Botchmania, so the point I'm making is like when you watch some other styles of wrestling and then you look at WWE, there are a lot of things you didn't notice before become noticeable. I thought that Bryan carried like 99% of the match. You could see that Reigns was visibly exhausted. You could hear Bryan calling spots. Bryan was literally slowing down his style just so Reigns could keep up. Like half of his usual offense he didn't even use in the match. Yeah, this was just a prime example of what Ric Flair always jokes about. You know how he always says he can have a 5-star match of a broom? That's what this was. So, yeah, and it's nothing against Roman. It's just, I mean, Bryan can carry Roman to a good match, but that's just not going to happen with Lesnar at WrestleMania. And I feel sorry for him because he's going to get eaten alive by the crowd and by the post-Mania crowd. And, yeah, I mean, the match was fine, but Bryan carried like 99% of it. And, yeah, pretty much.
All right.
NXT Game Boy.
Oh, I got to go after Toph for this one. Thank you, fucking Toph. Yo, this match was so crazy. If anybody was to believe that Roman Reigns, and I just got in an argument with a guy earlier about this, who was actually a black guy who was a Roman Reigns fan. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Roman Reigns, to me, is a pretty
fan?
boy joke. I'm sorry. I know the internet fans and the wrestling community. I'm sorry. I have no belief in Roman Reigns. He's the big, strong security guy.
Why not?
You know, who just
Why
looks
not?
nice.
Because he does the duck lips too.
Man, I was watching Daniel Bryan slowing himself down so much to carry this man, and thank God for Daniel Bryan for actually having the ability to carry this match. Because if he didn't, oh man, that You know who I really feel bad? I feel bad for the investors, the people who are investing in WWE, the board, the chairman and the boards and all that. That's who I feel bad for, because after this pay-per-view, that you gave for free, and it wasn't even good. It's like when you give a homeless person a sandwich and you they throw it back at you because they was like they don't eat tuna.
Hey,
like what?
And it's a Game Boy. And it's a Game Boy. It always, think about this. As bad as it was, it always could have been Brock and Goldberg from WrestleMania 20. Always could have been RVD and Shawn Michaels, and it always could have been Hogan and Warrior from Halloween Havoc. But those things never happened.
Damn.
Well, I'll say this. Thank you to Daniel Bryan, but I'm going to be at WrestleMania. I'm going to be in the stand. I'm going to be there. And I get to watch my man Brock Lesnar wrestle, or so-called wrestle, Roman Reigns, who, in my opinion, is not a wrestler. He hasn't earned the title wrestler yet. He's just he's a guy that do moves.
If you ask Bylaws Triple H, he said, well, Roman Reigns deserves every single thing he got. He worked his tail off. Quote, unquote.
Okay.
On the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast that you can see for free. But if you don't order now in the next, I'd say February is a short month, isn't it? Huh.
Yes.
You don't order it within the next,
Go ahead,
2 days.
You know what? I agree with the whole thing, and I'm going to WrestleMania myself. And this is my belief about Brock Lesnar. Now there are conflicting rumors that he's going to stay or he's going to go, but I think Brock Lesnar is going to beat Roman Reigns, and then he's going to come up and be like, Roman Reigns got to take it home and lay down for Roman Reigns. And here's another match tag: Jeff Jarrett versus Hulk Hogan, Bash at the Beach 2000.
That never happened.
Yeah,
it never happened.
All right. So anyway, that's the whole event. My gripe is this: the Memphis crowd was dull. They didn't pop for Sting. They did for the Undertaker, who turned out to be Bray Wyatt with his promo, and they booed Cena, which I do not get. I do not get, because you pop for the Undertaker that wasn't there, but you don't pop for Sting. That's
they always boo. They always boo Cena.
No. I'm just talking about the comparison.
Okay.
Memphis was not there. It was like you paid your $100 to get a ticket to go to a show that you're not interested in. Really?
Huh?
Really though?
It's okay, Sean. Just remember, anybody call in, hashtag give Sean a hug.
Shut up. Come on now.
Be all right.
I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest now. Look, NXT Game Boy, I know you can side with me on this one. This is the road to WrestleMania. And you talk about investors. This is the biggest time of the year. Shouldn't the road to be WrestleMania out of any time of the year to be the most important?
Yeah, but if you watch the Royal Rumble, apparently they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And just watching Fastlane really confirms that they really don't know what they're doing. So now they have...
Jamie Noble orchestrated the Royal Rumble, and you see where that went.
Let's not forget, breaking news. Undertaker right now is doing a Rocky IV promo. He's training
I saw
to face Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I see.
I believe Toph, were you the one that posted that? Thanks, Toph.
I just have to say that...
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, we were saying
thank you for posting.
Yeah, he's doing the training montage. Undertaker.
Is he doing the 8-minute training or the 15-minute training montage? Because that was a long montage.
This is a 15-minute training. He's to train his hair to go back to black.
So if the Undertaker is having this training set from Rocky Does that mean John Cena is going to have the training from the Karate Kid 1, You're the Best?
I don't think no. Actually, more like the training from Best of the Best, the first one. And speaking of that, we're going to bring... speaking of that right now, live. We're bringing in our good old buddy, co-host of Pro Wrestling Report, super friend. I'm not sure which one he is. We all know Shin is
super friend,
because no one cares about him. Bringing in now, David Herro. Welcome, buddy, to Under the Mat Radio.
Fellas. How are you guys doing
How
tonight?
you doing, baby?
Doing good, man. Real quick, before we get into the debate, I'm going to ask you real quick your quick thoughts of Fastlane.
Oh boy.
I really
yeah, I mean, it was a pay-per-view that really could have been a special edition of Monday Night Raw, and what they had to do is they did a great job of elevating all the heels so that when the baby faces have their revenge at WrestleMania, it means a little bit more. But, I thought overall the in-ring action was solid, but when the crowd is as flat as they were in Memphis, it makes it hard for anything to transcend well over television.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that crowd, it was almost, I had to double check. I thought that they were in the Impact Zone in Orlando. I'm like, is that the TNA audience? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, did they let people in for free that were just touring a theme park? It's like, come on.
That was WCW Worldwide.
It was
David,
terrible.
It could have been WCW Pro. Remember that on a Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, exactly.
They had a little garbage set that act like it was hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
bricks.
I really felt bad for the guys because I thought the tag match was fantastic. I thought those guys were great. But you could tell it was very kabuki-ish when the opener was the main event from Survivor Series minus John Cena and Rusev, and nobody really seemed to care. Because if Dolph Ziggler is that over as a babyface, that place should have just popped huge for him, and they didn't.
Did he get booking?
No, I mean, it wasn't the booking because according to the Internet wrestling community, Dolph Ziggler is the number 3 star in the company, right? And he's the first guy out of he's the first guy out of the box, and nobody cared.
No, I'm talking about the booking as far as like where they're placing him in the matches. I mean, they already had rumors that they were coming off saying that they're going to have him and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. And then next you know they say like
I hope they do that.
And then next you know they said they're going to have Ziggler stay with Ryback and team up with him, and they're going to be at WrestleMania together against another team.
Yeah,
I don't believe that part.
No, and then after watching Raw, you almost think that it might be a 4-way with Barrett, Ambrose, Ziggler, and R-Truth.
Who has to get himself over by doing hashtags?
I mean, part of me, the cynical part of me is thinking, did they bring R-Truth out because it's Black History Month and they just want to bring all of their black talents out?
Oh, yeah, because Mark Henry's coming out next.
I mean, come on. I mean, there was no New Day, but I'm just saying it's like, wow, you bring back the primetime players who you haven't seen in over a year. You bring out R-Truth, who is all of a sudden worldwide at #1 trending, and it's just like, okay. I mean, who knows? So
Stevie Ray's coming back too.
No, they already won the tag titles. They already won the tag titles at Reality of Wrestling last weekend.
Who's that? Reality of Wrestling?
Stevie Ray and Booker T.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow.
Well,
honestly, David Herro.
With that being said, real quick, not to mess up Shin.
Wow.
I know Shin has been having a good time, but I'm gonna break it up because Shin's trying to be very sneaky. Because David Herro.
No.
I'm
putting the word into this. I was asking David Herro a small thing, and this was funny to me when I saw this at the beginning of the show. But David, what did you think about Ryback's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costume from Fastlane?
You want to know something? It's going to look fantastic when they come out with the Mattel Series 77 Ryback action figure, and that's what he's wearing. And the kids are going to want to buy it.
You know? All right, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hey,
and also,
it's no different than when Rey Mysterio would come out every SummerSlam with whatever superhero movie was, like Silver Surfer one year, Captain America the next, he was Flash one time. You know, it's the same thing.
Well, honestly, we didn't say this though, but I wanted to say that with the main event with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, I have to give it up for Daniel Bryan's acting because he went to the Shawn Michaels School of Acting when he was selling that loss.
Oh yeah, I mean, what I figured that match, if those two guys, considering even though Shawn Michaels didn't fully train Daniel Bryan, he had a part in it. I'm sure that he called up Shawn Michaels and said, "What do I do with a guy that is so much bigger than me?" And I'm sure they watched old video of Diesel versus Shawn Michaels because Daniel Bryan provided all of the motion in that match. He did a lot of the work, where Roman Reigns did all the heavy lifting.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for that. I'm done.
With that, Shin, you're gonna turn your smile down. See,
we're only 6 minutes in and you're done. Come on, man.
Right.
No,
I'm done
with Fastlane, man. We're going to the debate. I'm ready for this.
Okay.
The tech thing, I'm scared. I was just putting the points out because it was just something never seen. I'm not scared
because we have it on record.
I'm not afraid of Herro.
You tried to renege, if you will. We tried to renege on the debate that you started.
You put the word out on me?
David Herro, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So
we got David Herro, who's on Team Hogan, brother, like me. You have Shimley, which you're the one that insinuated the whole debate that we have here, live, with Captain 4Kids, John Cena, Cenation, the Chain Gang, whatever he is now, with a Marine.
Wait. Okay. I'm going to say it like this.
And now we have Tofu with us now.
I just said it in a sort of view.
Yep.
Okay.
So, David Herro.
I thought this was one-on-one.
Well, we got callers about to call in and tax for the Cena and Hogan debate. So, David Herro, brother,
one-on-one.
I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to give you the floor.
I'm going to defer to the host. I'll let him start. I'll let him tell me why John Cena is the greatest of all time. So.
Go correspondent. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, well, in my defense, I was saying that I thought John Cena was better than Hogan because the fact that of his work rate and the guys that he put over, even guys that didn't deserve to be over. And my thing is that, you know, we all just like Cena with the super, I'm not gonna say super friends, but the Superman outfit. Like he pulls out promos like he never gets hurt. I'm not talking about that. I say that John Cena is better because, honestly, he put one of the guys that shouldn't have been in the ring, and that was Kevin Federline. He put him over, which was crazy to me. And with Hulk Hogan, it's like he's the greatest of all time. Let's not forget that. Even Ric Flair is too, but they're both parallel. With Hogan, I just think he has less heart than Cena as far as like the workload and everything. But Hogan does bank money.
Well, you can't. Okay, are we going to compare workload or work rate? Because if you want to go with the workload, when Hogan was on top in the 1980s for the WWF, they were running 60 days in a row, 5 days off, 60 days in a row, 5 days off. And sometimes they'd be working every night, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, where Hogan would be on before intermission on Saturday on a matinee show, hop a jet to the next town to be in the main event on that one. But, I mean, both guys, both John Cena and Hulk Hogan, are probably, you know, two of the greatest professional workers, not wrestlers, workers of all time, because they're not wrestlers, they're entertainers. And they're very similar with the exception of back in the 80s and early part of the 90s when Hulkamania was running strong, there was no need for him to find a number 2 guy, a number 3 guy, a number 4 guy, because you always had a strong supporting cast. You had the Macho Mans, you had the Paul Orndorffs, you had Andre the Giant, you had guys like that. Hogan's job at that time was good versus evil, and he always fought monsters. King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant, Kamala, One Man Gang, Sika, Killer Khan, just guys
Tiger
that
Chung
were.
Lee.
Well, sure, I guess even there, but John Cena, he doesn't have the same monsters that Hulk Hogan had. I mean, you would have seen Hulk Hogan versus a guy like Daniel Bryan or a guy like CM Punk, where they would be considered a threat to beat Hulk Hogan. So he was never in a spot where they're saying, hey, Hulkster, we need you to put this guy over. I mean, he put over the Ultimate Warrior, but that's because at the time he was similar in popularity, and Hogan felt he would, he couldn't lose anything. But as far as a brand, everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is. Not everybody knows who John Cena is. And John Cena's been the top guy for 10 years, and it's safe to say that in the last 10 years, John Cena has been on as many Regis and Michaels and John Stewart's and Arsenio's and, all the different talk shows, the same one that Hogan has been on. But the difference is when Hogan walked onto one of those stages, he had a huge presence. I mean, he'd come out with the tuxedo with the sleeves cut off. He had the bandana. He had, the iconic mustache. John Cena walks out, and he's a big dude, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have the charisma. He's kind of soft-spoken, where Hogan is a character. Yeah. Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania is just, it's infectious. People don't act the same way with John Cena.
Okay.
Breaking news real quick. I'm getting some texts right now. One fan says Hulk Hogan all day. Nothing beats the power of Hulkamania. Not even Zeus could have, and the Dungeon of Doom. Big up to my girlfriend, Babe Mel, says Shin. Everybody knows that Cena is BS. Another texter. He's a young fan. He's 17. I love John Cena. He's just a better worker, in my opinion. So, therefore, right now we have a little more Hogan than Cena.
It's split. It's split.
Well, we got Toph. We got Toph.
Okay.
Toph on the final. Toph wanted to add into the argument real quick, and then I can let y'all finish.
You.
All right, go ahead, Toph.
Yes.
You want to do the Hogan Cena debate?
Sure. There's not that much to debate. Everyone knows Hogan wins. So, Cena. The only thing I give Cena is he's a better worker. That's it. Everything else goes to Hogan. More marketability goes to Hogan. Hogan's the bigger name. Also, here's another thing about Cena. A lot of folks everyone. The thing about Cena hate has evolved so much over the years. It's kind of like Peter and Chicken from the Family Guy, how they've been fighting each other so many times, and then there was one time where they stopped mid-fight and they were like, what are we even fighting about? That's kind of like what Cena hate is, where people have been hating on Cena for so long. A lot of folks kind of forget why they even hated Cena to begin with. There's two things about Cena that I hate. And see, the thing is, Cena, he does the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He's a hard worker. He makes media endorsements, and he does stuff like that. But see, the problem with Cena is he's the solution, but he's also part of the problem. See, it's like Cena is involved in stuff, right? And it's like fans are booing stuff that has nothing to do with them, all because of Cena. Like, for instance, the Cena hate has gotten so bad. I remember, I think it was this time last year or shortly after WrestleMania. I think it was a 6-man tag. It was like Bray Wyatt. No, it was the Wyatt family against Cena and the Usos. And I think it was Jey Uso and Luke Harper were in the ring. And the fans are chanting, "Let's go Cena. Cena sucks." And I'm like, Cena is not even in the match. Luke Harper and Uso are fighting. Like, what does Cena have anything to do with Luke Harper and random Usos. It's like the Cena hate has gotten so big that it's starting to like absorb everybody else that's involved in whatever program Cena's in, and it brings them down. Like the Usos were a really good tag team, they were really over, but then when they started getting paired up with John Cena, now all of a sudden they're being viewed as the John Cena tag team division just because they got partnered up with John Cena. I'm like, wow. When tag teams got paired up with The Rock or Stone Cold or Brett or Shawn, there was never any negative resentment. But now, since these guys got paired up with John Cena, now all of a sudden people are viewing the Usos as the John Cena of the tag team division. I'm like, that's just how negative Cena is. It's like he's part of the solution, but he's also part of the problem. Every single thing that Cena touches dies. He touched Zack Ryder, he died. He touched Daniel Bryan, he died. He touched CM Punk, he died. Yeah, Cena's great for business, but every single person he touches goes with him.
Now I question part of what he said. Zack Ryder, yes, because Zack Ryder had an ultimate run in 2011. Punk, I didn't get when he said about Punk because I thought Punk was all on his own afterwards. Can you explain more
Punk
about
is his own island?
Yeah. Well, literally now.
David Herro.
David,
you have something to say?
Oh no, I'm just saying Punk has always been, on his own island. I mean, if we're talking about John Cena, I think the real reason why the adult audience doesn't like him is because they can't relate to him. Because how many grown men, with the exception of the first two rows at every WWE event, do you see wearing jean shorts, the T-shirt, the ball cap, and the wristbands?
It's like IWC material.
I mean, that's just, you don't see that every day. And, unfortunately in the world we live in today, cheer against the heroes. I mean, if you look at it, more women prefer Harley Quinn over Wonder Woman. Harley Quinn is freaking crazy. She's a nut job.
Yes.
And they would rather dress up like her at Halloween than being Wonder Woman or Batgirl or whatnot. So, I mean, that's just the world that we live in. Yeah, exactly. But
with no eye.
we're talking about guys putting guys over. Hogan didn't put over a lot of talents, because he didn't have to. But when he did, it meant something big. When he let the Ultimate Warrior beat him, that was huge. When he put over Goldberg at the Georgia Dome, that was humongous. I mean, that was at the height of the Monday Night Wars, and they gave away that match for free. Now, of course, rumor has it Hogan got, I think, 20% of the gate that night to do it. But, hey, good for him. Then, of course, he put over The Rock at WrestleMania. That was huge. That was the passing of the torch there. And then he did the same thing.
He put over Brock
Lesnar. He put over he put over the Undertaker when he returned back. I mean, he did. I mean, of course, he beat Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels. But I mean, at the same time, he's still Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania. Everyone that John Cena has put over, whether it be Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins,
it hasn't mattered.
It hasn't done anything.
It hasn't mattered,
but
right?
None of it. When Hogan did it, oh my God, he beat the iconic, the legendary, the Hulk Hogan. So I mean,
the only time Cena lost, I felt it meant something, was when The Rock beat him. But then they went ahead and let Cena get the win back the next year. So,
right.
And they also put a storyline like Cena couldn't win the big one. He had like a year of losses, and I admit, like, he lost Tensai, which I personally didn't get it at the inside at the end of that, because it was like Tensai came out and beat everybody, and now he got beat.
Ain't Umaga.
Well, like I said, my thing about
Cena also put over Umaga.
You said,
but
yeah, he did.
Yeah, Cena put over Umaga on Raw.
Yeah,
but
there's one other thing I would like to say about Cena. For me, this is really the main reason why I'm picking Hogan. And not just Hogan, but this is why I'll pick any babyface. Like, when I mean babyface, I'm talking about, like, your Harts, your Michaels, your Austins, even Orton. this is my main beef with Cena. Cena is a horrible actor. See, this isn't just wrestling; it's sports entertainment. So these guys are characters, and it's like Hogan and Savage and stuff, like all those other top faces, like they would sell programs. Like they would do things in their mannerisms to make you as a fan genuinely excited. I remember when Brock Lesnar came back, because I know everyone here has their own individual schedules and stuff. The night Brock Lesnar came back, that was like my first WWE show in 2 years, because I took a break from the product. So I wasn't reading dirt sheets or anything, so I had no idea that Lesnar was there. If you go back and look at that post-Mania Raw, this was like the post-Mania Raw after 28. Fans were chanting, "We want Lesnar." Yeah, right. And it had leaked that Lesnar was backstage. So when fans were chanting, "We want Lesnar," I didn't know what was going on. So then Lesnar came back, and I was excited, and the fans popped. And to Michael Cole's credit and Jerry Lawler's credit, they were excited. Everyone was excited. This was Brock Lesnar's first appearance in WWE in 8 years, and Cena was in the ring like it was just another day at the office. He didn't sell shock or fear. Look at Goldberg's debut. When Goldberg debuted, The Rock was pacing back and forth in the ring. He was nervous. He was scared.
No. But the difference was at the time Rock was a heel, John Cena's a babyface when Brock Lesnar returns.
You can still sell fear or surprise, though, when you see someone like that.
Baby faces don't sell fear.
Hogan always sold fear, though.
I guess I'm phased out of this one.
Well,
I've seen plenty of baby faces sell fear. I never see Cena sell at all.
No, that's true. That's true.
Let's not forget, Cena did get DDT'd on concrete and was able to beat up the whole Nexus about 2 minutes later on live.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But I did not get that one. I did not. Even Edge said it on Talk Is Jericho. I did not get that. The Nexus should have got over in that match.
He doesn't sell.
But we're talking about the 1980s when Randy Savage dropped the bell on Ricky Steamboat's throat. He was out for 4 months.
And also, Randy Savage was hated too.
Right.
He was hated
how
for doing
Brock
that.
how Brock Lesnar just dominated him, and then he shows up a week later like nothing happened. No sore ribs, no bandages, no nothing. Mm-hmm. There's nothing relatable about the character. That's why Hogan wins. Hogan is relatable.
Now,
all right,
here's another topic. Here's another topic here. David Herro and Shin, and I'm gonna bring in NXT Game Boy in this movie. Hogan and Cena. Now, Cena, of course, did the Marine, and he did that Courage movie with Danny Glover, and did a whole bunch of other movies. 12 rounds.
Legendary.
And Hogan, legendary. Hogan did Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny. David Herro, you start first. When it comes to movies, who is the better actor? Is it Hogan or Cena? Why? And after you, then I'm going to turn it over to NXT Game Boy, and then Shin, and then Toph.
God, they were both terrible. I mean, they really were. But I guess what you have to look at is bottom line, who sold more movie tickets. I mean, I know when No Holds Barred came out in 1989, 1990, I mean, that was Hogan's first movie, with Vince, and at the time it was good, but it was so terrible. I think that The Marine is a better movie than what people give him credit for. I mean, I think John Cena does fine. God, I mean, for me, this is a time limit draw. I mean, they're both that bad. I just can't pick one winner. Hogan dressed up as an alien bodyguard, and then he wore a tutu in the next one. He was Santa with muscles in a different one. I mean, he just poured himself out, and then he had his own TV show, Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise,
and, yeah, I mean, I guess I can give it to Hogan just because
Rocky
he did
3.
more than Cena. Yeah, well, okay, that right there, Hogan wins because of Rocky 3, absolutely.
Rocky 3.
Because what he did as Thunderlips in that 10 minutes of that movie is better than anything he did in all the other movies combined. So, and that's what made Hulk Hogan. Yes, he was better than Three Ninjas. Gosh.
Right. Let's not forget
what was that? Three Ninjas Magic Mountain?
Yeah, and let's not forget he was also in Romeo and Juliet Yeah.
What?
He was in Romeo and Juliet. He was the voice.
And he was in Gremlins and one of the Muppet movies also. Yeah.
Walker, Texas
Yeah,
Ranger.
so you gotta go with Hogan. You know.
Muppets from Space.
My goodness.
Oh, and let's not forget Assault on Death Island, that TNT movie that they kept plugging every darn week on Nitro. Remember that?
Yes. Right.
Oh
okay.
my God.
So,
all right.
I'm sorry, David. You say Hogan.
Yes.
So, real quick, Hogan and Cena when it comes to movies.
Hogan, as Thunder Lips, surpasses Cena's entire movie career. And unlike Cena, Hogan never took the role too seriously. Cena still thinks he's a Marine. You're not, John. Get over it.
So
you know what?
So
Wow.
Herro is Hogan. So if you like Thunder Lips, so is Hogan. NFC Game Boy.
Pause.
I have to agree with the Hogan thing, but let me just say this: Hogan, whenever he comes on the screen, you automatically pop. Why? Because it's usually at a time when you least expect it, and he's feeding into characters to make you believe, he's this astronomical guy, and he's doing this part. I remember one time I seen him on Spy Hard, which is Leslie Nielsen movie, his parody of James Bond. And I went to the movies and seen this, and I was like the only person there by myself because I went to go see it. But I was a fan of those type of spoof movies, like the Airplanes, the Hot Shots, and whatever. But I remember it was a scene when he was fighting, and he tagged in, and here comes Hulk Hogan, and Hogan's trying to fight, and Hogan's losing, and he taps in like Dr. Shelley Struthers. I forgot her name, whatever the doctor name is. But it just it was just so funny to see him there and playing that role. Whereas John Cena, when he does movies, it's like he forgets that once the camera's off to take that role with him. An actor plays a character and that's it. John Cena is living these characters. He's a Marine. He's a teacher. He's a father. He's all these things combined. He's a brother and in arms and all that stuff. And no, you're just a guy who works at a company. And
that's true.
Hogan wins, hands down. But I just wanted to add that point in.
And you know what? Also, one of the things is with Hulk Hogan is he's a part of our childhood. So like for me it was in the 80s, the red and yellow. For you guys, I'm guessing it was the NWO. Okay. And it's like we grew up with Hulk Hogan. So when we see him, it's like hey, that's a piece of that's part of our childhood. Like when you see Alf or just certain other things, growing up as a kid, you will always remember that.
Reference.
I think it was 2 years ago when they had the Super Bowl commercial with Radio Shack, and Hulk Hogan was in it.
Yeah.
Everyone talked about that because Hulk Hogan was in it, and the 80s, because that was a period when a large part of the population grew up. So that right there is a big part of the connection. A lot of us don't have a connection with John Cena because we were adults in our 20s and whatnot when he first started out.
Now, real quick, Hogan in Spy Hard, his official credit name was Steele's other tag team partner. And I remember Spy Hard because, that's what he's credited as. I actually remember that movie because I popped. And like David Hill said, me as a kid, like NFC Game Boy, I grew up with Hogan. Even though here in Baltimore, we was more NWA territory, so it was more so flair. But Hogan, and then too, look at who's Hogan acted with and who's Hogan worked with in these movies. He's worked with a lot of legendary people.
Sherman Hemsley.
And John Cena's worked with who?
He's the guy from Terminator.
Yeah. So exactly. So that lets you know. In my vote, I say Hogan because Hogan's worked with the Michael Keaton, the Christopher Lloyd, the Leslie Nielsen, the list can go on and on. Sherman Hemsley, all these people are legendary because they had to be with Hogan.
I'll tell you guys what though, man. I'll give Cena one thing and one thing only, and I'm still waiting for the streak to be broken. John Cena, he's actually the last socially relevant character that Vince McMahon created because we all know how out of touch Vince is. But Cena the character, like when he first started, when he was getting big, he was the last socially relevant character. Everything that Cena was doing in the mid 2000s, that was like what was popular in culture at the time. You know, and this might be a little weird for some of the younger viewers out there, but like in the earlier 2000s, you had movies like Drumline and You Got Served, and you know, Freestyle Friday was popular on BET, and you know, you had 8 Mile with Eminem. You know, the whole hip hop culture. You know how he wore jerseys and chains, and how everything was. You know how he had the spinner title and stuff. Like that was what was in. You know, that was what was popular on BET, MTV, VH1. That was like a really open era culturally, where it didn't matter if you were black or white or Latino or, you know, whatever. You know, Cena, he did that, and it worked for him. You know, and ever since that character, in my opinion, WWE, or should I say Vince McMahon, has been unable to create a socially relevant character, meaning a character that's doing stuff that's actually popular, you know, like what the world is doing today. You know, he hasn't done it. Cena was the last one.
Real quick, Shin, yeah, you go, Shin, real quick, so we go to the next topic.
Okay, well, as far as movies are concerned, yeah, Hogan wins by far, but I have to say, I think by far in comparison, Hogan has the more celebrities in the movies and the age, but he had the corniest movies either. I mean, Mr. Nanny, I don't know why I popped to see that movie. And Cena, I mean, you're right about Cena. Like 12 rounds, I didn't get it. The Marine, I personally didn't get it when. And this is an NXT Game Boy throw your drink at the screen moment, where the gas station blew up and Cena jumped out of the burning gas station, not even touched. That was a throw your drink at the screen moment right there.
Well, that's kind of like his matches though too. So.
Well, honestly, I think John Cena, even though this is corny, he might get some points in with his next movie, with his little awkward sex scene that was trending around the internet with Amy Schumer. I don't know, but
right.
You know.
With that. But
anyway, with Toph, what Toph said about relevancy, I am with Toph with that, because a lot of times in 2003, 2004, a lot of the male older audience were with John Cena because he dropped the rhymes and did the freestyles and everything like that. So I was with that. And then now WWE turned PG and put Cena number 1, and he killed it off. So that's where, you know, the male fan population died for John Cena.
Okay. All right. So Hogan wins that round. Next topic.
Yeah.
David Herro, you start off as usual. WrestleMania matches. John Cena.
Really,
Hulk
that topic?
Hogan. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna flip it over. And no, this is not. And I'm gonna make this fair. This has nothing to do with celebrity status, or to be fair, because you know WrestleMania 1 was big because of Hogan and Mr. T. We're talking about Hogan's WrestleMania matches from WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 8, and then his DLC appearance at WrestleMania 9, and him against Vince and all that other stuff, and John Cena.
Oh God!
As far as quality and crowd reaction.
Here's the difference. But here's the okay. I don't care if it's a 5-star match. I've seen a lot of great 4.5 and 5-star matches, and the crowd just sits there and they don't understand what's going on.
Right.
Because they can't follow it. Now, I rewatched Hogan versus Rock from the Sky Dome. It might have been. It was good because it made sense. It was a lot of punching and kicking. There were no flips. There were no high spots. It was punch and kick. But the thing that Hogan and Rock were able to do is they were able to bring the entire crowd into the match. Okay? The only time that's really happened for John Cena was when he beat JBL for his first championship. And then maybe when he beat Triple H. Okay?
No.
But Hulk Hogan, you cheered for him in WrestleMania 1, him and Mr. T. You were emotionally invested. You were absolutely emotionally invested in Hogan when he fought Bundy at WrestleMania 2 in the cage, because everyone thought Hogan was dead. Because the way Bundy crushed him on Saturday Night's Main Event in Phoenix, nobody thought Hulk Hogan could come back and beat, Bundy in the cage. Then you have WrestleMania 3. Hogan's the ultimate underdog, the undefeated Andre the Giant. And that entire match, Hogan worked from underneath. He was losing most of the match until the end when he got the body slam and a leg drop. WrestleMania 4 was Savage's time. WrestleMania 5, Hogan versus Savage. You were emotionally invested because you saw two best friends fighting over a woman. Is essentially what it was. They were fighting over Elizabeth. 6 is when he dropped the belt to Warrior. Another great match. Hogan versus Sid was huge because that was Hogan's farewell match for a while. You know, everyone thought he was going to be gone. It was Hogan versus Sid, and then Savage versus. No, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry.
No.
7 was Hogan versus Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Hogan versus Slaughter.
Okay, well, wasn't Hogan versus Sid a botch match? I just thought about that.
No, I mean, not really. I mean, but every match that Hogan's been in, even though he is the ultimate superhero, larger-than-life personality, every match, WrestleMania match he's been in, he's always been somewhat of an underdog, where there's always been the big monster heel where Hogan limps into the ring and eventually his Hulkamaniacs power him to the win. Now, when he, was with Slaughter, of course, it was, the All-American Hulk Hogan against the Iraqi sympathizer. And then he had Sid, I think, the following year. And then I think it was 10 was in Vegas. I forgot who Hogan had in 9.
He made the DLC in 9.
Money Inc. No, 9 was Beefcake and Money Inc. That was that match.
Right.
And then he came back for Yokozuna.
That was in 10, yes. But, I mean, everything Hogan did at WrestleMania, every WrestleMania Hogan was in, he was the star. Even when he came back against Rock, it wasn't Triple H and Jericho. Even though that was the main event was Hogan versus Rock. And even when Hogan came back and he fought Vince McMahon, that to me was still the big main event because it was the creator against, the creation. So, John Cena has had some very good matches. I think him versus Rock was fantastic. Both of them told great stories. Him versus Triple H, was fantastic. When he beat JBL was great. When he beat Big Show at WrestleMania 20, what was fantastic. But when it comes to WrestleMania, it's Hulk Hogan, hands down. There's no discussion about it because you paid to see Hulk Hogan at every WrestleMania. You don't pay to see John Cena at every WrestleMania.
All right.
Good point.
I gotta pull a point on you, David Herro, because there's a point that you made that you kind of missed. Hulk Hogan had a match
that I made.
Yeah, it's a botch point. Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake fought Money Inc. in WrestleMania 9, but as Tex said, he was DLC content in WrestleMania 9 when he came out for Bret Hart and faced Yokozuna and beat him. So
that's right.
You said he was in WrestleMania 10. Which he wasn't there.
Yeah,
he wasn't
at 10.
He was signed with WWE
10 was the first one he missed. That's right, yeah.
And no, that was when he went away, period, because of the whole steroid case, too.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it with Cena is, Cena, with his matches, the guys tried to put him over, but as far as the crowd was concerned, he couldn't get credit because he was the Roman Reigns force feed type deal that he had. So I agree with Hogan. Hogan had all the monsters. And Randy Savage wasn't a monster. He was just like the champion, and it was the feud that put them over.
He didn't have to be the monster that year. He was the best. He was the best friend. Real quick.
Really?
No,
go ahead. I'm curious to see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
No, I was saying with Cena matches, Cena had, let's see, his first WrestleMania didn't happen. It was 2003. The Vince McMahon match with Hulk Hogan, I don't even count that as far as Hogan's career, but it was just all paper, just like Bret Hart's match. The next year he faced Big Show.
Bret Hart's match was a full-blown abortion. That was terrible.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
That would have been better if it was 10 years ago, but without the stroke and everything. The match with Big Show, it was an upswell of Cena's Cena's not celebrity, but his stock. It was an upswell for that with the Knucks and everything. The next year was JBL. I think it was a passing of the torch match with JBL. So that was okay for me. The next year was Triple H, and Triple H tried hard to put him over, and he had the what was the move, the STFU? I don't know what they call it now. And Triple H tapped out to that, and he tried. Huh?
Not good.
The what? Okay.
No, go ahead.
And then the next year after that was supposed to be Triple H 2, but it was Shawn Michaels because he has a quad injury. And I thought that was a better match. I thought Cena and Shawn Michaels was a better match. Shawn Michaels. Okay. The next year after that was Triple H and Randy Orton. That was a good story. That actually told a year-long story between the three of them. Cena got hurt, Triple H got hurt, and they come back because Orton's the champion. The next year after that is 25. He faced Edge and Big Show. Not really into it. I like Edge, but Big Show was DLC content for me. He was added on to that match. 26 was Batista. Storyline was good, but I cared less because I knew Batista was leaving at the time. 11 was The Miz. Nobody cared about that because they cared about The Rock. 12 and 13, no, not 12 and 13, that's the years. 28 and 29 was against The Rock, which made a storyline to cover 2 years. And I'm forgetting one.
And then Bray Wyatt.
That was awkward. I will admit, that was an awkward match because we all called Bray Wyatt, and now we're calling Rusev the John Cena push. So John Cena's going to face him at WrestleMania, and we know John Cena's going over, and it's like now, where are we going with the character, with those characters?
Well, John Cena has to beat Rusev at WrestleMania. There's no way the Evil Russian defeats the All-American John Cena.
Well, the world's going to blow up if it does. Do you think it's going to be more shocking than Undertaker losing his streak? No. But I think it'll be shocking.
But politically, they won't let that happen because it's
not even John Cena getting on his knees and begging for Rusev to beat him.
Nope, not at all. There's no way. Just because of the political climate,
Okay.
No, it's not going to happen.
All right. Well, I will tell you this. I will succeed to that topic. But also, I've been meaning to put this point out as far as putting people over. What about Jake Roberts, the one that never happened?
Okay.
Jake Roberts DDT'd Hogan, and then the crowd was chanting DDT, and they turned on Hogan. And they scrapped that like it didn't happen.
But real quick, I could jump in on that. With us being friends with Jake, that's nothing to do with Hogan. That was a Vince McMahon decision. Jake said Vince McMahon decided to pull that because the crowd was more over and was getting behind Jake instead of Hogan. And Vince couldn't have that happen at the time because Hogan had to be the most over thing. So,
but also here's the thing. Hulk Hogan was on the cover of magazines, cereal boxes, vitamins, lunch boxes. Are you really going to have a Jake the Snake Roberts vitamins? You know what I mean?
Cocaine and heroin?
It's all about marketing.
You got 21. I got 26.
Yeah. So, for as talented as Jake is, could he have been the top guy? I remember when they had Jake Roberts against Macho Man, and I thought that was fantastic, and the crowd got behind Jake the Snake, and he became a very strong babyface. Was that an 86 match? I don't remember. I'm sure it was in the mid to late 80s, but Hulk Hogan, much like John Cena today, you have to ride that horse until he dies. Because everyone says that John Cena's not over. Dude, nobody sells more merchandise than him. He's over. He's over like $1 million. He is the only goose that lays golden eggs in the WWE. And you know what? Roman Reigns is going to get there. And here's how I know Roman Reigns is going to get there. Because I see women in the audience wearing Roman Reigns T-shirts. And I say this all the time because it's the truth. When you see women in the audience, that means you're making money. Because women don't buy tickets. But they will buy tickets to see a guy that they find attractive, sexy, whatever. They did it with The Rock. They did it with Steve Austin. They did it with Undertaker. Now they're going to do it with Roman Reigns. Women aren't buying tickets to see Daniel Bryan. I'll tell you that right now. With the exception of Brie Bella, I think that's it. But women will pay to see Roman Reigns.
Now, David Herro, did women buy tickets to see Hulk Hogan with his receding hairline?
Absolutely, they did.
Cold
Absolutely,
they
did.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, he did.
You know why? Here's why.
Yeah, muscle.
Because he's 6'6", 305 pounds with 24-inch arms. Women are curious. They want to see how big the other python is. Okay?
Oh,
so it's like,
oh yeah, brother.
I mean,
maybe a tape
it's Hulk Hogan. I mean, larger than life
Bruce
personality.
Beefcake knows his python. Bruce Beefcake knows his python. You know.
I'm sure he does. Much like Seth Rollins, everyone knows his now too. So.
Let me bring in a topic. Why I got y'all on this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring a topic. Heels. Since Hulk Hogan turned heel, you know what I mean, and of course started the whole NWO thing. And John Cena was heel with the whole rapping Cena thing. Which wrestlers do you think had a better longevity as a heel compared to their babyface characters where, you know, Hogan wins almost hands down. But as heels, and I know it's kind of hard because Cena wasn't a heel but only a few years compared to the years that Hogan was. Who do you think would have more longevity?
Oh, I mean, hands down Hogan, because he was the ultimate babyface that broke everybody's heart. You know, he preached, train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. You know, everything. He preached that to generations, you know, 2 generations of wrestling fans, and then he turned his back on all of them. The fans are begging for John Cena to become a villain. They want to see that. They weren't expecting Hulk Hogan to do it.
I get with that too. I mean, that's actually a good topic because when Hogan turned heel, it wasn't a snap and turn heel. I remember this from Tech showing me some tapes. I remember that Hulk Hogan got booed like for a while. Like it was a build, and they worked through that. Back in 1995, there was no internet, or it was barely one.
96.
And when Hulk Hogan fought Vader,
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, he turned heel in 96, but it was 95 that you told me that Hogan got booed in Baltimore when he fought Vader, and I saw the original tape that you showed me. John Cena is getting to the point where now we have internet, we have smartphones, so it's like everybody's going to say F John Cena, and you see it everywhere you go. Hogan had a moment where he went away for a while, and, you know, WCW was still thriving, and he came back and was a heel. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen with John Cena because John Cena's never going to stop. His work rate, to me, reminds me of Tyler Perry, which is great, but it also disgusts me at the same time because it's like your face is smattered everywhere on the product. John Cena turning heel, hopefully for me, if they write it right, would be a good move. It has to be written correctly in order to be done. Personally, for me, John Cena turning heel might be a shit-the-bed moment for WWE. It's going to be like IWC is going to revel in it or hate in it, and they're going to be like, I told you so, he's going to turn heel. But as long as Vince McMahon is selling and all the kids are buying the toys and the shirts, I don't see John Cena turning heel ever. I think it's just going to be worse than give me a failed heel turn that tried to happen.
Sting.
Oh, yeah.
Cold.
Sting and Stone Cold, both of those.
Keep going, yeah.
Stone Cold was the worst heel turn
say,
ever because nobody wanted
it was
terrible.
Nobody wanted to see that.
I was going to think about it. I was going to say Goldberg, like in 2000, 2001. I don't remember.
It's too late. It was too late. Nobody really cared by that point. But like David said, Stone Cold turning heel at WrestleMania 17, was the worst heel turn in history.
Honestly, with that happening, I don't think people saw the creative had perception in that. I thought it could work, but like I said, if you don't write that correctly, it's not going to work. Now, I don't remember Sting turning heel unless it was like TNA or something.
Well,
they tried to turn him heel in WCW, and it didn't really work. It lasted like a week, and he had a few. Yeah, he had a few heel stuff in TNA, but again, like. Nothing worked.
Nobody cared. It just didn't work. He traded on Hogan. He traded on Hogan, and Fall Brawl was like 99 or what have you, and people stayed supposed to cheer Hogan, they cheered Sting. He's one of those guys like Mysterio. Just certain people just don't do well as a heel. It just didn't work. People still
he'll always be a savior. That's just how people view him.
RVD is one of them too. And honestly, I'm gonna put it out there. David Herro. As far as WCW is concerned, I know very few at WCW after 1999, after the Finger Poke of Doom. So I hardly know WCW. So I didn't know that.
Gotcha.
David Herro, do you have recollection of the? Sorry, go ahead, David.
No, the recollection of what was that? You broke up.
I'm saying, do you have recollection of WCW? I mean, I do of the dying 2 years, 2000, 2001.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I watched WCW before it was on Nitro. For me, I watched them as soon as I could get them on my cable. I was watching them.
Back in the Jim Herd days, which never happened.
To add to what you guys were saying about the WrestleMania thing, I think Cena, he had a lot of Mania matches too, but pretty much like Herro was saying, what I've noticed about Cena's Mania run is that, and all of Hogan's Mania uses, with the exception being 4, because that was the tournament and that was Savage's time, but every other Mania moment, Hogan was the top draw, he was the main event, and he was basically the guy that you were paying your ticket or ordering the pay-per-view to see. Cena, I can't say that for every Mania. 20 was his beginning. 21, he did win a title, but the main event was Batista and Triple H. So even 21, Cena still wasn't the main focus. 22 and 23, he did main event those two, but by that point, the Undertaker's streak was really starting to get some, blood flowing. Money in the Bank had just started getting stuff, and I know a lot of folks that would order Mania just to see Money in the Bank or just to see whoever Taker was fighting that year. And, a lot of times Cena didn't even main event Mania. Like, he didn't main event 24, he didn't main event 25, he didn't main event 26. That was like 3 Manias in a row he didn't main event. He was like either in the middle or like second to last. 27, no one cared. It was about The Rock. 28, 29, you guys talked about that, and 30 was just awkward, like, just like it is with Rusev. So, I think Hogan wins the Mania thing too.
Yeah. What was the best match of WrestleMania 3? What was the best match of WrestleMania 3?
Oh, everyone knows that was a Savage Steamboat.
You're wrong.
Well,
93,000 people paid to see Hogan versus Andre.
Hogan
93,000 people didn't pay to see Savage versus Steamboat. Savage versus Steamboat was the best. It was the best presentation of a match. But everyone paid. 93,000 people paid to see Hogan versus Andre, and that's what you have to look at. Is what WrestleMania last year. 70,000 people didn't pay to see John Cena and Bray Wyatt. They paid to see Daniel Bryan.
Okay, well, here's a question for you, Dan, because this is a Mania that I always argue with people, Dan. What did people pay to see at WrestleMania 29? Because I was there, and I didn't pay money to see Rock Cena 2.
I thought that was
just for the WrestleMania name?
You know what? No, I honestly think, it was that also Taker versus Punk?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that.
And it was also Lesnar Triple H.
Okay.
Yeah, that was loaded. As far as bringing in names. I mean, for me, I'll always pay to see The Rock.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It's just Mania 29 is a very controversial topic amongst the IWC because Mania 29 commercially was actually very successful. Wasn't there like no, I'm thinking something else, but it did well. The buy rates were good, the advertising was good, but overall the show was not critically acclaimed that well. Many people said it was boring, but yet it
was boring. And I sat there in the rain, in that misty cold rain. I was like, God, this is good,
But people paid money to see it, though. So I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so despite the fact that many people didn't enjoy it, millions of people paid. So it's like, what exactly did they pay to see? And that's something that a lot of fans just argue about to this day.
Because it's Mania. Because sometimes when you have a big marquee and there's a logo, some people just pay to be at Mania, just the actual event, as opposed to actual matches. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people. And it's the Game Boy.
I'll be honest. I don't know for this year's WrestleMania what the real marquee match is going to be.
Well, for me,
Right.
the marquee moment is just simply seeing Sting in the WWE ring. That's what it is for me. I don't know about anybody else.
That's gonna be terrible.
And you know what? Honestly, Toph, David, I don't want to see that. Period. Sting is the greatest superstar never to wrestle in WWE ring, and that's gonna snap after that. Who's next? AJ Styles?
Wait, hold on a second. Now listen about what you just said. He's the greatest superstar to never be in a WWE ring. I think that means he's the only one. Because everyone else that was a star has been there already.
Well, okay. I will say
quick,
this, so I'll take it back.
We got 3 minutes. Shin, we got 3 minutes.
Okay.
So this is let y'all know. Go ahead.
All right.
Go
I'll take it back. AJ Styles wasn't there for a tryout, but when he came into the ring, he was not like AJ Styles. To me, I take it back and say Sting was the greatest superstar never to wrestle in WWE ring, and come WrestleMania, that's going to snap.
David Herro, real quick, David Herro, real quick, you said that's going to be horrible. Real quick, why?
Because I think Sting is past his prime. Thank God he has Triple H to work with, because I know Triple H can definitely hide a lot of flaws that Sting has right now. Triple H is that good. He's the only guy.
Triple H has a lot of flaws, but that's just me.
But he's so good. I mean, in the ring, he's so good.
Triple H humping.
Well, you gotta remember, Triple H is the one that helped carry Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels first came back. 10, 11, 12
Just
years
so
ago.
you know,
and when he still had his back injury was still newly, and he had to carry that match. I would think it was a ladder. Was it a ladder match or something? It was
a non-sanctioned match in 2002, and that was like the best match of the year.
It was SummerSlam. But
listen,
what you gonna say?
to do another show, Triple H is a bigger star than Sting. He's had a better career.
Yeah.
That's really funny. That's like the funniest thing I've heard all day.
World
You
star.
know what?
Wow.
With that being said, we definitely can, we definitely can debate that.
Special show.
The next debate, which could, the sequel, the debate, the sequel. We could debate that next month.
Wow.
No. We gotta do it the week of WrestleMania. You guys pick a special day. Triple H has had a better career than Sting.
Okay.
Wow.
We'll do that.
Okay.
The week
That's
of Mania.
so funny.
And you know what? And just for that, what we'll do is it won't be the actual date. It won't actually be on a Tuesday, a regular show. We'll still have a show that week, or even do a Wednesday where that whole episode will be just one, Triple H, who had a better career, and I already know my opinion. Even though I'm a big Sting fan, I gotta agree with David Herro. 2, we also got to do the debate now, because a lot of people hit me up now about Austin and Hogan.
I would just like to say that when it comes to Triple H matches, none of them stand out, and the ones that do are all gimmick matches. I'm just saying.
Now, I would just like to say that unless Sting is wrestling Ric Flair, he hasn't had a good match.
Okay.
And unless Triple H has a gimmick match, he hasn't had a good match either.
Yeah,
there you go.
Real quick.
We got the heat on, people. We got the heat on.
Tech.
We got the heat on.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh yeah, I love it.
We have to do this on a monthly basis if we're going there. Toph versus David Herro, Triple H and Sting. Let it go.
and then also an hour later, an hour after that, the next hour will be Austin and Hogan, because that's what the fans want to hear about too, of actually who you think was better between Hogan and Austin. Real quick, fans, we got 90 seconds.
This is too much.
Herro, thank you much. David Herro,
Thank you
very much.
Both of y'all.
Thank you
so much.
For that, don't forget, fans, next Monday we'll have a special episode Under the Mat Radio live. We'll be with the man himself, Jim Ross. Good old Jim Ross will be joining us next week on Monday, 7 p.m. same time.
Go and get him.
Next Tuesday we'll have a regularly. Yes, next Tuesday will be a regularly scheduled show. We'll give you more updates on that, guys. Thanks, Toph, for bringing in the heat. Thank you, NFC Game Boy. Thank you, Shin.
No problem.
You had to hold on to your kufi for a heated debate, but it's all good.
Oh, shut up, man. Come on now. Really?
Don't forget, everybody, fans, good morning to you. Love y'all much. Last words real quick. The benediction.
Oh, man, great show. Dave, Toast. Oh, man, loving it. Bring the heat. Turn it on. You already know what it is. Amen.
All right.
Shalom. Hashtag of the nation real quick.
Thank you for the thumbs. This thing got to be a monthly basis with the debates, and I don't believe that an hour can hold these debates.
This had to do too. Love y'all much. Jam. Talk to y'all next week.
Monday.
Easy, y'all.
Let's get him.
By God, you killed him. Someone stop the damn match.
Slapped that wood and it didn't give.
What? Really?